All right. Y'all got lucky. I decided to do a show today. Uh, all right. So I know there's a 20-second delay. Can y'all tell me my best $3 find at the yard sales this weekend?
Da, da, da.
I swore that I would buy one of these when I saw them, and I saw them for the first time this yard sale season. They were $3. Uh, I'll let y'all guess. You got any guesses, Todd?
Mm, printer.
I've sworn off printers. I got like 30 printers. The hell with printers. It's something that I only needed for like 3 days this year. And I might not ever need them in my life again, but for $3, I'm not going to be without them.
Um, okay, let's see.
Snow chains. I
Snow
live in
chains.
Alabama and now own snow chains. Somebody had a set
Uh,
of snow chains for $3 in the big plastic and box. I'm like, I'd be damned, $3. I am yeah, I'm in on the snow chains for $3. Uh, Ron, you just showing your age talking about jumper cables. Is there anybody who still uses jumper cables
I got a set of jumpers in every one of my cars
for what?
for jumping your car.
You know, you need the little battery things, and then you don't have to worry about ever having another car. You just hook it to your battery and it jumps you.
I know.
That's the best. I think I paid $79 for that thing. If you don't have one of those, my alternator died a few weeks ago. We'll talk about the van. For those of you who weren't there Friday night live to hear the van story, I'll tell it again. Uh, this will be the last time. Um, yeah. So when the alternator died, either I got to look for somebody to jump the crazy thing off, or you put the little battery thing on there and hit the button, and it starts the car. Those things are amazing. So you should have one of those in your car. And also, it doesn't. The one thing that most people don't tell you, their damage is done to your car every time. Your alternator takes a hit every time you jump something. And yeah, what if somebody hooks them up backwards? They can destroy your battery. All those fun things. So catch on fire, all that fun stuff. So uh, I forget what brand I've got. If I run outside, they're in the van. Oh shit, I don't have any keys. Oops.
Shoot, I've jumped off cars for my whole life, and I've never burned an alternator out on it.
No, I hadn't either. But they say, that's one of those. Is that a wives' tale? Can you really tear up an alternator by jumping? How many times do you have to jumpstart somebody to kill your own alternator?
I don't know. Of course, I don't
Anyway,
go out every day looking for people to help them with jump starts, but
that's the one thing alternators work harder than they ever have these days because of the electronics in cars.
hmm
Batteries are bigger, alternators are got to be bigger because you know. Just think about the modern cars and all the craziness that they run now. Yeah. So I have snow chains. That's exciting, right? I got to list this lawnmower today. I need, I need to sell this lawnmower. Ah, Eclipse glasses? No, not Eclipse glasses. I did not go to the solar eclipse. I didn't even look at it on T. Yeah, that's how impressed I was with it. Um, my favorite line I saw on there that why go somewhere for like 4 minutes of darkness when was it Kid Rock missed 3 damn days one time? Didn't see the sun for 3 damn days. There you go. What's 4 minutes? Uh, I've watched some videos of people doing that and in groups that got together and they had a good time and they just made a gathering around it. Eric, how can you be here early and late on the same show? It's terribly disappointing. Uh,
oh, The sealed Grateful Dead. Paid $10 to the Lutherans it sold for.
100.
$82.99. But you got to be careful with those Lutherans. They'll pull the wool over your eyes. They'll sell you another one
Right.
that doesn't have a barcode.
Right.
When you put it on eBay, it gets taken down as counterfeit.
Those
What?
damn Lutherans.
Bark. Bark.
Is it snack time already?
It's always snack time with Jenny.
All right, so for those of you who missed the Friday show, and it was a good one. I took the Friday show down because of the craziness. Yeah, I was too drunk on the Friday show. Sorry about that. We'll tell you the story. So the sometimes it's your fault is the show's title, and it's got multiple meanings. First meaning the van broke down on me last week, and sometimes it's your fault. That was my fault. 378 miles from here in the metropolis that is Bogalusa, Louisiana. In the hood, okay, the hood, yeah, the hood. I waited for a tow truck for 3 hours as the folks in the neighborhood. Just watching them carry on for 3 hours was very entertaining. To say, turns out that you actually need to tighten down the caliper bracket whenever you're doing brakes and make sure you get it really, really tight. Because if you don't, the caliper goes into the wheel and the wheel goes nowhere. But yeah. Yeah, Seal Beetle stuff is good. My uncle had a huge Beetle collection at one time. It was worth a fortune. He sold it at Sotheby's. Well, he sold a good chunk of it at Sotheby's. Yeah, so the van, very fortunate. Everybody was extremely nice. Tow truck guy goes, it looks like the caliper's into the wheel. Your bracket might be loose or missing a bolt. That's exactly what it was. $54. So, but it's the stuff that your mind goes through whenever. I guess it was like a hypochondriac who is trying to self-diagnose on the internet. When you're trying to self-diagnose your car on the internet, man, they had me looking for a hotel room. They had me looking for a rental car. They had me on the phone with Joni for 2 hours. You know, whether she gonna have to drive 400 miles to pick me up because Bogalusa does not have a auto rental place. If you were wondering, they do not. Yeah, so they do not. It was gonna be. I might have had to have Enterprise come pick me up, but that was like 30 miles. The tow truck coming took 3 hours. How Enterprise, the place still not be there yet. Yeah. Ping has 5 cats and never named any of them. How do you call them? Began with 18. Tommy said he got a Ford Expedition free. They couldn't figure out the front tire. And that's not the worst part of it. So the part that was not my fault was I would have figured that out pretty quick, Tommy, that I had screwed up with the bolt, but I couldn't get the wheel off because when they did the alternator, they put the wheel back on with the impact wrench. I broke the damn tire iron trying to get the damn bolts off. So yeah. James, that was I don't know how I didn't tighten it. That was like the 7th or 8th time I put brakes on that van. That van eats brakes. Brakes last about 40,000 miles, and it's got 230,000 miles on it. So I've done the brakes every time. It was just a momentary lapse of reason. Where's Steve today? I fired Steve. Steve is no longer going to be on the show. I told him, "You're not reselling enough. Get the hell out of here. We're tired of listening to you."
Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more.
I replaced him with Todd.
Yay.
So Steve and Marsha are traveling to North Carolina this morning. They are going to see her mom. All right, Eric, come on. You won't turn the camera on. You're a chicken. And he said something about being somewhere next week too. So y'all are gonna miss Steve for 2 whole weeks.
Dang.
Mark, it doesn't matter whether you use OEM brakes or Chinese brakes or Indian brakes. If you don't tighten the caliper bracket bolt, you can have Bendix, you can have whatever the kids are putting on cars for the super duper brakes. If you do not tighten the bolts, it don't matter what brand they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ping. Everybody wants cats. Everybody wants kittens. Nobody wants cats. Yeah. Well, Mark, then you must not drive a minivan. Smaller cars do that. You know, Joni's car is on the original brakes, and it's a 2015 Acura on original brakes. No issues. It's that van is heavy with small brake pads, and it eats brakes. Phil said, "If your nuts are not tight, you will rattle." Yeah, Eric, come on and save us. And so the real title of the show. Last night I was, the hardest thing about doing a reselling show even though I only do it once a week. Sometimes I do Friday nights. This Friday night there will not be a show because I'll be in Nashville. We'll talk about Nashville in a minute. Tracy said his Tundra eats brakes too, so see, it must be Toyotas. I mean, the brake pads on that van are itty bitty for something that weighs that damn much. Because don't forget that a minivan is a large vehicle. It has some serious weight to it. But so evidently I must have liked a couple Gary V's, so I got a bunch of Gary V in my feed, and so he was doing a talk about something, and somebody asked him, they said, "So what do you do when you make a mistake?" Like my mistake, I'm talking about, I think they were talking about hiring or something. And he looks right at the camera, and I think this answer is one that a lot of people can learn from. He said, "I just move on." And the questionnaire was like, "How do you move on?" He goes, "You just move on, and next person up, next project up, next thing up, next opportunity." He says so many people get stuck chasing perfection. Except for me, I can be perfect. Y'all can't be perfect. I hate to be the one to break it to you on a Wednesday morning that you're not going to be perfect. Your business is not going to be perfect. All that kind of stuff.
Dang.
And it was very interesting because Gary has had a lot of success with his family business and his marketing companies and things and social media. And he said, "I look to be," he says, "I don't want to be 3-0. I don't need to be 10-1." He goes, "Maybe if I'm like 119 and 80." He's like, "You just need more wins than losses." And I think that's so true. It's a lot of truth to that in life, a lot of truth to that in business. Is you've got to have enough wins to outweigh the losses. You got to have enough wins, and I really think it's in reselling too. If you're, especially if you're sourcing and those kind of things, finding the better you are, the more you niche, the more you learn, you'll have more wins than losses. But to be so fearful of the losses that it paralyzes you to make wins is I think a very detrimental to a lot of people who start this business, who are so focused on having to find, you know, they watch these videos and I've got to find something that's worth, I paid $1. It's got to be worth 200 at a yard sale or it's a failure when, they don't understand, enough to understand wins and losses. Bob T wants to know, is that a new iMac in my work area? Yes, it is. No, it's not. That's the one that used to be on the shipping side. It might go back. Who knows? That's the one I picked up a couple months ago for $100. It's a 2012 iMac, and I had it running the latest iOS 14 or Mac operating system 14, whatever that thing is called. It was too much for it, so I downgraded to 13, and it's much better. North Georgia Picker says you must adapt to survive. Hey, I'm so used to looking over the comments and seeing lag with such nonsense. I'm not used to seeing such a great comment. North Georgia, that's 100% correct, man. You've got to, in this business, you've got to adapt to survive. You know, I'm, most time eBay gets a bad rap, but what about Amazon? So let's tell you my story about Amazon. So, I will sell used printers on Amazon, and I sold a printer, and the shipping didn't cover it was sold, it went to Hawaii, and this thing cost me $68 to ship it. And I'm like, you know what? This is one of the last printers I'm going to sell. I just need it to go away. I'll go ahead and ship it. I sold it for $170. There's some profit there because I didn't have much money in it. I got notification yesterday that it's being returned. Changed their mind. You realize that's going to be a $140 loss for somebody to change their mind for me to ship something to Hawaii. And what's the mistake I made is I allowed it to go to Hawaii. In Amazon, you can change your shipping. I'm gonna have to go clear the bit so I can cut my grass. So I no longer ship to Alaska and Hawaii on Amazon because I just took a $150 loss.
Dang. It happens. I've got 1,000 things listed that aren't selling. Is it all a mistake? I don't know. Every once in a while, something old will sell, but on the buy, you think, I bet that'll sell. And you look it up on your little apps and whatnot, get it home and list it, and it sits for 3 years. So, yeah, you never know. You never know. Evening legends while I'm in bed listing bread and butter. Pay the bills. Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of polo shirts. They're not listed, they're just sitting over there. $10 a piece. Doesn't take but what, 1-2 minutes to list each one. Shoot, that's like $50 an hour profit. I mean, that's winning, right? I went back to my 2023 and figured out take home after taxes, fees, cost of goods, everything. I was making $36 an hour. But listing those shirts for $10 a piece plus shipping, that's $50 an hour. I'm like, well, it's kind of stupid listing low value items, but it's still making as good of money as I do listing buying something for 20 and selling it for 100, you know.
So do I get mad? Do I quit Amazon? I call Jeff Bezos every name in the book? I've done all that. It didn't solve any of my problems. And so figure out what went wrong. How can you prevent it again? Not selling the Amazon to Alaska and Hawaii. Does that really do much in the grand scheme of things? Not really. And maybe I will change it. Maybe I'll think about it today and change my mind and make because you gotta have as many shipping templates as you want. So maybe I make one for larger items that no longer large items are not just. That's probably the answer. That's probably the right answer. I was just angry this morning whenever I was thinking about $150 loss because somebody changed their mind. If you look at my returns on Amazon and start adding up the change my mind, uh, it's staggering how many people who goes through the process of ordering shit and order by mistake or change my mind are the two number one return reasons. You know, let's quit drunk ordering. Let's put a penalty on people that they should. Amazon requires you to do free returns. Nobody talks about that. You must match Amazon's return policy. You can exceed it. You can make it where they can have 60 days, 100 days, whatever. But at a minimum, you have to match Amazon, and Amazon is that means free returns. And so build yourself, do the math in your head or on a calculator and figure out what. That's probably the answer, and I'll change that this afternoon to where I have one. So anything that's a larger, I'll have a different shipping template for it, and I'll just call it something like large items or something. That Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, none of those will get large items anymore. So Little Debbie says, eat the loss, move on. It's the cost of doing business. To a point, okay, so the exposure is what I'm trying to limit, and I think it's everybody has a different exposure to risk, and I just don't want to lose that kind of money on an item because somebody changed their freaking mind, and so I will no longer allow that the exposure to that kind of loss for the shipping for that much. There should be, and you should be allowed a restocking fee, absolutely. And I think I can get away. I think you can get away with like 10% or something, but it's So Javid says indecision may or may not be. Jimmy Buffett does not have that problem anymore. So Bob, I did not have that option. They did one of those return and had already dropped it off before I got notification, or I got the email, but by the time I was busy or whatever, it was a few hours later. It had already been dropped off. There's no communication, no nothing, just yeah. And I love the ones, and I love the ones that are ordered by mistake, change my mind. I've got some of them. You'll get one that goes, found a better price locally. I'm like, I sell shit that's discontinued. You ain't found nothing. If you found out you're some kind of genius, maybe you should take up retail arbitrage. So Kevin, if that's the case, after 30 days, you can, because they're not supposed to give them the refund until it's scanned. And so you can actually fight Amazon and tell them, file a safety claim and tell them, hey, I wonder if I won my safety claim. Let's see. I had somebody returned the wrong moped. They bought a O-seater and they returned a Libman. Y'all think I won that one? Let's see.
I'm saying no.
I lost it. How the fuck do you lose that?
No.
I don't understand. Amazon is so eBay gets the bad rap, and there are a lot of people who watch the show that do both. I lost a claim on a return because I sold a O-seater mop head and they returned a Libman and said it was the wrong one. It didn't work. See the just contact Amazon. It's just absolutely ridiculous that they would that's the case. and they denied another one that I had to appeal and won the appeal. So I'm just gonna have to take another 10 minutes and appeal this. Um, so this one, Bob, the printer has a scan, so I know that it's already coming back. Jeremy, how is everyone doing? Jeremy has just insulted everybody in the chat, so doing it wrong. Make sure y'all hate on him this morning. Kevin said he lost the last two. So and this I buy from Amazon. I buy a lot of stuff from Amazon, not other sellers. Just which is you've had so many bad you get so many bad experiences. So I've had a lot of good experiences. I buy a lot of supplies on eBay and Amazon, and I ordered boxes the other day from let's see, I needed some 642 boxes because I've been selling a lot of small items, and I'll tell you this seller on this person's out of Georgia. They're called Mini Duino, Duino. So I picked up 642 boxes for $23. So for y'all doing the math on them, that's 23 cents a box, which is really, really good and it's a small box. The last one came in 2 days. Let's see where this one is. Arrives today. I ordered it on Tuesday the 23rd. They shipped it on Tuesday the 23rd. It'll be here. I'm sorry, I ordered it Monday. They shipped it Tuesday. It'll be here today. That's an amazing eBay seller that you can get something that fast. That's an amazing. That's the way they all should be. I ordered something on Whatnot the other day. I ordered it on April 10th. I got notification on the 19th that it was being shipped. And it got here on what's the day? The 24th. It got here 2 days ago. It got here on the 22nd. For a platform that's new and trying to attract buyers and sellers, and they the requirements I thought were you had to ship it within 2 days. Not everybody has to, I guess. But I share a link to the seller. Sure. They didn't have a ton of boxes. Here's that listing. It must be really good. They've sold 6 of them in the last 24 hours. All right, so there's that. Yeah. So I happen to have I've been selling a new product that I found the last week I'm already sold out of the small ones, but the small ones didn't fit in that box, and I had 32 of those small ones, so I used 32, or I used like 27 of the boxes. There were some multiples, but made life so easy. It's a thinner box, but it also fits I like that box because the way it goes together. Larry, you're 100% correct. Amazon's policies are pro buyer, but there is a tipping point. Amazon's at the tipping point because they are starting to talk about returns and do things to slow that down. You can only be so nice to the general public. You got to realize with the fluoride in the water, the public is getting dumber by the minute, and getting untrustworthy. And as times get tougher, and unfortunately, it's a fact of life that as times get tougher, people will justify doing things that they're not necessarily the right thing to do because of it's just Amazon. Because most people think they're buying from Amazon. They're a big corporation; they owe it to us. I mean, all people justify things, and it happens a lot more as times get tough. And I think we're in for much tougher times coming. So. Whatnot is a garage sale outlet. I don't know that you're wrong, Bob. I think you might be closer than, but there's nothing wrong with that. You think that Whatnot can get in trouble for the Tommy Boy? Hey, good morning, Beard. Have you received numerous new compliance? I haven't paid any attention. I know some Vanguard van. Somebody sent me something about OC. Cedar has been right up there. Not only did I get a fraudulent return, I also got a letter from them saying Vanguard BP or something. You know, we need to know where you're buying this. I'm gonna tell you what you need to know. That's what you need to know. Hi, Javis. I've got the eBay somewhere, but it's um. I'd much rather you guys get a great better deal than care about it affiliate or whatnot. Lag with your comments. I can tell you love fluoride water. Yeah, Tamray, it's and I've had a few items with shipping here or there, but nothing unusual. Everything has still been very well. Everything shipping has not been an issue. But it's the challenge is when you have these things that are failures, when you have things that don't go your way, for whatever reason, you know, like me and the loss of the big ship, you know, I can let it change what I do. But I was already changing the printer, so that's not a good example. But what if it's one of your top selling items and you take a loss like that? You know, examine what happened, figure out how to make that not happen again, whatever reason. You know, if in this case it's as simple as eliminating Alaska Hawaii from large items. I'm trying to do all small items, so that was the last printer I sold. I guess it's fitting that the last one is coming back. Because everything I shipped Monday, I shipped 67, 64 were right here, which is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the vast majority to be right here. Looking to so as I'm doing shipping, streamline. It doesn't take very long. Just walk up to the shelf, pick it up. I've had to look a little bit because I need another set of. Actually, I need to clear the bottom shelves off so I can. I've got stuff too crowded over there. But was Lag definitely ill, or did he have some kind of itch that you have some kind of rash that wouldn't go away?
Yeah.
Some would say Lag is the rash that won't go away.
Lots of creams for that.
But it's just think about business. Just think about a brick and mortar business. That's easy for people to focus on.
Worms.
Look at a Walmart. Look at Walmart right now. Walmart made a huge mistake, a massive mistake, for things that I've just been talking about. And what are they doing about it? Somebody tell me. You want to be on the live show? I'll call you right back.
Okay.
So somebody tell me it's been 20 seconds. What's Walmart's big mistake? What do you Todd? What do you think Walmart's big mistake has been? Cost them millions, maybe billions of dollars. Walmart's mistake.
Probably accepting every return with no questions asked.
No, Ping, you're a smart lady. Keep telling people that I think somebody was saying that you were on their show. Ping, you're very smart. They're getting rid of the self checkouts. She's the first one to type it in.
They had too much shrink from stealing, imagine.
How much, not only did Walmart make this same mistake, Target made it. Dollar General is pulling them out. They trusted the general public to not steal from them. Imagine that. And so they're going back to the way, and you hate them. It's just think about that. Should Walmart close the doors because of that massive failure? Or they just suck it up, throw these machines away, put the people back in, accept the loss that they either continue to lose more product or they can fix the problem and put their cashiers back, and that's what they're doing. Audi's just got it. Oh my! I have not been in one. We've got 5 or 6 around here. Tom, I haven't seen that yet. And that's a lot of people follow that same model. let's automate, let's do whatever. You know, so I'm on this last trip. I went into a McDonald's a couple times, unfortunately. Uh, one because I had waited so long to eat, there was nothing left. I'm like, well, damn it. I guess I hate to eat at McDonald's, but it was the last. It was a kind of a last resort. It's I wonder how much slower their service is, and how those damn kiosks. And I guess they're okay for in the morning or when there's not a lot of customers, but when they've got a line of customers or whatever, I wonder how much slower their service is and how much negatively people look at those touch screens that have got covered in the filth and disgust that's on those touch screens. Um, Good morning, Josh. Happy travels across the border there, sir. Hey. So that's a good question for you, Josh. When you cross the border, are you not allowed to say A anymore? Do you have to drop your Canada at the border and act like you're an American while you're on that side, and then you can go full blooded, go get your 10 bits and all that stuff on the way home? Is that the way it works? Just wondering. Um,
Can't can't say bean instead of bin.
so Joanna says she won't use the co-op kiosk. I tried out too, but I was at a Love's gas station, which is so if you travel like and drive as much as I do, and you've got access to Love's gas stations, their prices of gas are generally pretty low, especially on the road. They're very competitive. Download the Love's app. The Love's app gives you 10 cents off every gallon. Uh, and so that's for me. The last trip I filled up 4 times, and you're all thinking, how did Beard make any money with all that gas expense?
I know.
But 3 out of 4 times I stopped at Love's, and that's 10 cents a gallon. That stuff adds up. So good morning, Mr. Harlan. Says recently removed checkouts from 2 stores. Uh, yeah, they're gonna do it. No current plans to remove them nationally. Yeah, right. Do you think Walmart would tell you the truth, Harlan? They've got to be losing a fortune. Well, look at okay, so maybe they do what Target does. So Target said, "Wait a minute, we've got all this expense to put these things in, and what do we do about it? We now limit it to if you've only 10 items or less." So they changed the first week of April that you can no longer use the self checkout with more than 10 items. So I don't know how strict they are on that. They might be like other stores. You show up with 13, they're not going to say anything to you. Yeah. Josh, so self checkout in California is just walk out the door with less than whatever it is they'll arrest you for. Um, but it's very interesting the different policies that these stores have. Like Walmart, went all crazy self checkout, but they also they do the scan and go with your app. You're in Costco, you can not Costco, but you're in Sam's Club. You can pay through the app on your phone and never go through the line. I wish Costco did that. Costco checks your receipt anyway. What are you waiting on, Costco? Come on. Yeah, it's crazy. You'll be stuck there in self checkout because there's only like one or two other lines open, and they're all the way to the back, and you're behind somebody who's got their entire family. I've been behind people who've got like 2 carts in self checkout. I'm like, holy, y'all gonna be there, and they close at 11, folks. Y'all understand that, right? But it's self checkout used to be an answer to an express line. It used to be for customers that had 10 items or less, so they didn't have to stand in lines. I think Dollar General needs to pull theirs out because they never work. Have y'all noticed that every time you go to Dollar General, the self checkout is never functioning?
There's always a sign. Next line, please. Yep.
Um, Eric says he hates how they don't accept cash. Some of them, uh, that's on purpose, Eric. They want cash to go away because they imagine that a society that functions, the the governing people, the elites of this world, who have written the rules to make every way of their doing things not taxable and to maintain their wealth. They maintain their wealth by forcing you to pay for everything that's done in society. And so, how do they do that? It's by taxation. Just think about the taxation. Everybody focuses on income tax. If you stop to add up, I would guess we're 65 to 70% of your money is taxed. Just think about reselling the items that I sell have already been taxed once. They shouldn't be taxed again. If you pick up an item at a yard sale, how many times could that item have been taxed? It could be taxed new. It could be taxed sold used. And every time it's sold used, cars same way. You think you own a house, they're going to tax you until the end of time. They're going to tax every bit of this to force you to pay something. Uh, people. So Javis, the answer, you can save money shopping at Walmart. The answer is probably not to stop because of self checkout. The answer is just to order it online and have them put it in your card. Then you don't even have to go inside and deal with Walmart. Flip it good. That is a good point. That is one positive change that has come from all the self checkouts is you can now do taxes. That has been a positive change. Yeah. So Javis says he's done that. That's a smart way to do it. But you just wonder how many spaces does your Walmart have? Ours has got like the one out in Hazel Green's got 40 or 50 spaces where they want people to put in their cars, and they want everybody else to park 10 miles away. I refuse. I just park in. Am I the only one that just pulls up and parks in one of the reserved spots? I can't be. I'm like, I am not getting out and walking across the parking lot. I mean, okay, so if there's 40 of them, I'll park in like the 30s or whatever. I don't go crazy, but I don't pull up in spot number one and go, I'm here. Oh, wait a minute, I'm going inside. Eric says he parks here too. Don, good morning. And good morning to you too, Mary. Y'all get to see me in a couple days. So who's going to Nashville? I know Dawn and Mary are going to Nashville. Who else in the chat is going to Nashville? Anybody else? And don't say Harlan, don't say you. I know you're going.
Glenn was in the chat. He's going.
Yeah, that's correct. Glenn is leaving. I think he's leaving tomorrow. He said he was driving halfway tomorrow. I'll try to take some video. I'm the worst at taking any kind of video whatsoever. Larry will also be there. So if you want to meet Larry way out, Lag says he'll be there. No, that's a lie. Christine, good morning. Good morning. It's going to be a lot of fun, folks. I mean, I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of new people and hanging out with old friends. It's going to be a lot of fun.
What's the name of that guy doing the organization? He's pretty good at making videos.
Yeah, the Nashville Flippers, Ray.
Yeah, Ray. Yeah,
They make
Ray makes good videos. He'll have some good stuff from it.
David said he can't go to Nashville, so he's going. So we told Rick Rat Bastard that he had the Huntsville all to himself. So Javis, I guess, because me, Harlan, and Tracy are all going to be gone. So I'll tell him you're going to be here. Look out for you. Have some birthday drinks for you and Sue. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna try not to drink too much. Man, Sharp Picker, why are you not coming to Nashville? Somebody ban Craig. It's not that far, Craig. You're only an hour and a half farther than me. You should be going to Nashville with us. It can be expensive, but it's like anything else. I mean, Anissa Barry is not coming because of Steve. Steve is coming to North Carolina, so Barry chose to hang out with Steve instead of come see me in Harlan. That's how bad it is. Larry, I hate to hear that, man. That's no fun. No bueno. I'll meet you in person one day. On my way to go to Iowa to check it off my list, I'll go to St. Louis and we'll have lunch or something. Todd and Tom wouldn't come. It's terrible. They're too busy going on cruises. They're too busy going on cruises to be meeting with us, just little folk in person. It's Todd will tell you what's your excuse for not going, Todd?
Yeah, trying to save up money to go to Europe.
Are you going on a cruise in Europe or just to Europe?
Yeah, we're doing the Viking cruise on the Rhine River.
See, I told you they want if Nashville had a cruise in Nashville, they'd be there.
Yeah.
I think Tom just got off a boat last week.
Yeah.
And then Big John's on a boat now for like a month.
That's too long for me. I can't stand to be on one for about more than a week.
Man, I got
you're getting sales.
I didn't have any yesterday. I got skunked, but I got 2 today. So try something different. And so what did I do that was different? So I really and truly believe that on eBay, one of the things you can do on eBay in order to increase your sales, and maybe I need to put a clickbait title up there. Do this one thing to improve your eBay sales. I think, and Josh has talked about this. A lot of people. This is not new news, but sell-through rate of your store has a huge effect on your placement in search. And I don't think it affects Josh as much because Josh sells antiques. He's looking for that one-off buyer, and so someone who's looking for an antique or something that he sells is going to look harder in search. But but me, I am selling retail items. It's discontinued, whatever. And so there's competition involved. And so I need to be placed in search without having to spend a ton of money on sponsored. Because I don't remember if I wanted to spend all that money on sponsored, I just sell it on Amazon, right? Amazon, at some point, Amazon becomes a deal, FBM, because there's only 2% difference in the fee. So if you promote at over 2%, 2.2%, you become fees even on eBay and Amazon. So you got to make a decision. Do you spend more money to sell it on eBay with less customers? Well, some items you make more money, some items you can't sell on Amazon. So there's a reason you sell some things on eBay. And so I took down half my store last night. This is what I did. CK Treasures are leaving eBay. I don't even know who CK Treasures are.
I've heard of them, but don't know them well. So I have a question. I've got a private pick today. One of the items is sterling silver flatware set. The melt value of silver in it's $2,000. So what's the maximum everyone would pay to buy that set?
Do they know about the melt value?
Yes, they do. Problem is, if a person's not willing to sell it themselves on a Facebook Marketplace or an eBay or for whatever reason, they don't want to do it. So they're going to have to take some loss. I'm not going to give them. I'm not going to give them a ton.
Oh, they're in Alabama. Okay, so
Lag says 800. They won't take that deal, Lag, but okay. And you got to remember, margins on gold and silver items are tiny compared to
but it's also got to be
a
worth.
jitterbug fishing lure. I can sell this for $5, and I paid what, a quarter for it. The
But
margin, the
it's got to be
margin
worth.
is big on this.
It's got to be worth it for you. I mean, it's your time and effort and energy to do that. It's got to be worth what is it worth? 10%, 20%? What is it worth? You got to figure out what percentage you're basically providing a service. You know,
Right.
what's the what service fee is in that for that item, what service fee is applicable, and then that's what you offer. So if you decide that 20% is the number, 1,600 is where you got to be because it's $400. They need out of their commercial lease. What Josh, what part of Alabama is that?
Yeah, Mike, that's so true. If it's a desirable pattern in the silverware, yeah, it can be worth way over spot price, way over silver melt price.
Because the problem with buying that kind of inventory is the one thing I know about listing on eBay and that kind of stuff is so I don't list like you do, Josh. I'm not a bulldog of a lister, or if I bought that kind of stuff, I'd get it all listed. Um, if it's stuff that you're not interested in, it's very hard to deal with. It's very hard to get yourself motivated. Most people are not James and Josh who just crush listings at a ungodly rate. I can't sit down and list 200 listings a day. And I don't think there's any easy way if they're all listed in their store. There should be a way to transfer listings, but I'm sure there's not. They're on YouTube. That's true. So if scrap price is 2 grand, what do they don't the scrap company's not going to pay you 2 grand because they got to have some skin in the game.
Right. But I do plan to pay more than the person can get at a We Buy Gold and Silver place or a jewelry store or whatever.
CK Treasure, Northeast Alabama, that'd be us, Harlan, right?
There's still
Maybe
margin there because I don't have any overhead with a brick and mortar.
Northeast might. Yeah, well, that could be.
But they've also got a couple of gold rings and some antique watches. We'll see what happens.
Trying to figure out where this is. Hell, I might have driven right by their warehouse. I've been in that town that they're in. Uh, yeah, Center, Alabama. I've been in Center in the last couple months. So Jacob says the scrap places, max out at 75% of. So that's the point you got to is if they're basing it based on scrap, the max they're gonna get is 75%. Why are they if that's what they want to do? Why don't they just take it themselves?
Uh, yeah.
Josh said he bought a warehouse and 8 storage units on Monday. No wonder we hadn't seen you for 4,000. Listings have dropped. And there's going to be a lot of this kind of opportunity out there. And that's the other thing. If how do you get all that? I don't. So from here, so from the center Alabama to Meridianville is probably 2 hours. That's moving. Hey, good morning, John. That's a lot of moving. And it's and just because something's a deal, and I'm sure 10,000 for 300,000 is probably fair at some point, but what's in your business model? What makes sense for you? Um, y'all realize I'm driving and doing a lot of retail arbitrage, and I'm chasing a certain variety of products, but I'm also trying to restrict the size of products. I don't want to. I've decided that I don't like the fact that I don't like the eBay listing process. I don't like the cleaning. I don't like the having to go to the building to get it. I'd rather have things that are right here. And so I'm trying to design a repeatable business that buys products that fit here. So that as we ship them, I don't have to chase them around. They fit in the same size boxes and making everything. Imagine that. I'm trying to come up with put processes to the things I buy, processes to the things I do. And sometimes that means there might be a great opportunity out there, but an opportunity is not always right for you. So yeah, Timothy, I think we're going to see a lot of it. A lot of people are deciding that the safety and security of a job, which is not very secure these days. Google announced more layoffs. Um, Look at the tech industry and how many jobs have been lost in the tech industry in the past 18 months. It's amazing when you start looking at it. Javis, yeah, sometimes a good opportunity is not just doesn't. It's not where you're at, and I mean I could go look at their store and see what they sell, but um, super rare Cabbage Patch dolls, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so it's important that you've got these things defined in your business and have a clear because how do you make mistakes and how does it become your fault? You can you can buy a good deal and it be a huge mistake for your business and be a serious boat anchor that could drag you under. And it's not that it financially didn't make sense, but it's it's not in your business model. It's not what you do. And forcing yourself to do something because you think it's a great deal. Okay, so it's a great deal for someone else. And um, uh, Craig, I didn't say that. I didn't say there was any shame in getting a job. That's for some people that's a wonderful thing, and there's no right or wrong. Everybody has to make a decision for themselves, which is best. You got to do what's best for you. At the end of the day, you got to do what's best for yourself, your family, and block out the noise and be happy with your own decision. Um, every vintage memories. Every now and then, I say some words of wisdom. Trying to listen to my own self for a change. Really is it's and that's what it boils down to. You see all these, and I've talked about this a lot through the years. You see these people coming on and they'll tell you, you got to do it. This is the way I do it, and everybody goes, "Man, I got to do it exactly that way." So how many people have followed the daily refinement? I've got a list of a million things in mall clothes and are regretting that decision right now because that market has dropped out. You must understand what is good for your personal people. You got to have a vision for your business. You got to have goals. You've got to have and and be willing to change. If something's not working, adapt. Somebody said that earlier in the show. Uh, you've got to be able to adapt and change. That's a strength of a small business, especially a small reselling business, is you can take advantage of changes in marketplaces, changes in all these, but you've also got to be paying attention to see what the opportunities and what the changes you can take advantage are.
Yeah, Cincinnati Picker, I think just yesterday, put out a video where he filled up his car with sports cards.
But
And
he also he's huge into sports cars, man. That's his.
I
That's
could not, that's not my business. There's no way I would do that deal, but I'm sure he's going to come out like a bandit.
Yeah, he sells them. He was selling them at one time on Whatnot quite regularly. So he's got an outlet for that. He's also that's what he likes. And I'm telling you, the easiest thing you can possibly sell is something that you love and have interest in and really like going through. Except for me, I love cameras and I have a tendency to hold on to them. But I've sold a lot lately, and I've got one over there that I'll get listed today. I found um, a Fuji camera that's really nice this weekend.
Yeah, I found another one of those spear guns at the
Oh, the same kind,
same brand, but it's a shorter model.
right?
I paid $5 for it at the garage sale a week ago Saturday, and I
Who is
listed it
spearing
for
stuff in the middle of Texas?
$170. So winning. I already got an offer for 105. I probably should have taken it.
Yeah, it just depends on how fast you want to turn it over. Did you counter offer the 105?
Yeah, I put 150. But somebody in Missouri wants it. They're gonna go fishing on the what's that river that goes through Missouri?
The Missouri River.
Maybe so.
Up against the edge of it's the Mississippi.
Yeah.
But there's so much to know in this game, and there's so much opportunity, and there's gonna be lots of people walking away, and it's just I think we're just at the beginning of seeing a lot of people walk away from reselling. It's and I don't and it's not that there's it's not that the opportunity to resell has gone down any. It's not that the platforms are chasing people away. I think it's people don't understand their numbers and they don't understand. Um, 'Cause I see it all the time. I'll buy something at a retail price, to flip it, and you'll look at it and go, even if they got this for free, they're losing money. I don't think people understand the cost of selling when they buy an item, and so they too many bad buys, they take too many chances. You know, I bought this for 10, I can sell it for 15. You lose. I don't think they really think about the shipping part of it and fees and understand, and then taxes on top of that a significant portion of that sale uh is gone, that's not even available to cover the cost. Jacob, you sell Starbucks? I didn't know that. Take advantage of your knowledge, folks.
Yeah, the one good thing coming out of working for Home Depot for 4 years was I have a lot of product knowledge on their products.
Are you going to come load my mulch when I go buy some?
Oh, hell no. I got so tired of tying Christmas trees to the top of Kias and loading bags of cement and pickup trucks. Jeez. That's hard on an old man.
You drink the coffee. You drink the craziest. Jacob is one of those where he starts from like a $3 drink and it ends up being like $14 by the time he's all the different stuff. How many shots, Jacob? How many shots do you put in that thing? He has them add like 3 or 4 shots to a drink. Uh, Jacob his coffee is like the ones you see like from like in like you imagine from like World War II. Whenever you stick the spoon in it, it just stands up straight. Uh, burnout is real. So who's talking about? Oh,
Yeah. Who were those guys in Texas doing the dopios? Yeah, like that.
oh, that was what's his name in San Antonio or Austin? Him and his brother,
Yeah.
Chris
E
Dupuy
e
and his brother. Uh,
money and
yeah.
they love that.
Um,
They love that stuff, and they would rate them. They'd give it a 3 star or 4 star.
so I think Mike, I think you're 100% correct. It's not necessarily they failed. Better opportunity, burnout. Burnout's real. I've faced it, and it like to made me find a job. Burnout is a very bona fide hustler. Um, I remember his real name before I remember Bonify. And he started making more videos lately, and I've seen more of his content. So he's made content for a long time. Joanna says her find of the week, her husband's wedding ring on the computer. What did he take it off for? Was that a hint? What the hell? I can't even get this one off my hand. It- Uh, but it's there, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you have a better opportunity come up for you, and you decide that it makes more sense for you personally, you know, I don't look at is your business failed, moving to another opportunity, another business venture, another job is not a failure. It's just a change in life, and you can't let people's perception. So Josh, he's in the car. He faced that. A lot of people go, "Can't. That's because Josh was a terrible reseller and everything he did. He can. That's why he had to go get a job. He was being very strategic because of Canada. And if you understood the situation, you realize that in order to make certain things happen, he might have needed a job temporarily, or I don't know if it was originally going to be temporary, but and he is
I,
still going very strong.
I
Uh,
was very surprised how fast he got back into reselling. I thought he would be gone for a year.
and I'm glad he's not. I enjoy
Yeah.
I enjoy that he's around. He's Josh is a smart guy. He's really inspired me to be a better business person in this thing. So I appreciate that. Kent, what are you doing, Aquaman?
That's who Bonafide reminds him of.
That's true. Who was the actor who did Aquaman? Yeah, he looks a lot like him.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Yeah, that's the problem. The social media part of reselling. Jason Momoa, that's him. Is good and bad. There's good in social media that you've got a place to get your questions answered. You can make great friends. You can exchange ideas. You can learn. You can do all those things. But then you also bring the negative side. Some people face some peer pressure to do things and will make bad decisions because of the way they think people will think about them. Um, at some point, he just needs to start telling them that's who he is. That's outstanding. Um, Larry, I 100% agree with you. It's at the end of the day, it's what makes you happy. So that's another thing. I was watching another one. I told you last night it was Gary Vee in my feed, and so Gary Vee said they were asking Gary Vee about living and what's important in life, and he says I know people who have made a fortune, multi millions of dollars of money, and three people show up at their funeral. Is that living? What kind of life is? He talks about he's got friends from school that that make $50,000 a year that scrape by for vacations and have great families and do all the things that family life and have you know what is living to you and what makes you happy, and you only live once, and so you've got to understand what's important in life to you, what's important, and if it's money, you're going to be on a lonely road. uh Yeah, Jennifer, there was some good. I was flipping through Instagram last night and had a bunch of Gary Vee last night. Uh, a lot of people will discount Gary because he's younger, but not. He's younger than me, but he's not too terribly young. But he has a tendency to cuss a lot. Okay, so I have a tendency to cuss a lot. He don't bother me, but some people. So John, Did you pick out a nice outfit? Are you going to look nice on the course and all those things we were talking about the other day?
Got your Johnny
Uh,
Daly pants. Hmm.
um, yeah, each day you've got to do what you love, what you enjoy, and that's why we're going to be they're all brocus pocus. uh, what am I going? Saturday morning, there's going to be a lot of people going to the flea market. Uh, I enjoy yard sales. That's one of the things I truly love. We'll be yard selling. There's a group of us that'll be yard selling. I go to the flea market Friday. He's all dressed up. It's get to the point there, John, where it's going to be too moist to play. Even in the desert, it's going to be moist.
Uh,
You might end up at home tired, laid on the couch, scratching yourself.
oh.
Just saying. And this, you don't like that word either. All right, so Dawn, make sure you guys check that out. She's got a new video coming out tomorrow at noon. Uh, Working her hobby in the reselling. Very nice.
Cool.
It's foul.
I bet she's making artworks out of 45 RPM records, like wall decorations or something.
Hey, John, you still here? After Thursday evening, it's gonna be hard to do anything. Maybe tonight or tomorrow morning we need to record the podcast so that 'cause I'll be in Nashville, and I can't tell you where I'm gonna be, what I'm gonna be doing, and what state of mind I will be in. Right, because we're leaving here tomorrow, probably 3 p.m. my time to go to Nashville.
All right.
Yeah, 3 p.m. tomorrow. If you like old turntables, I do like old turntables. Next week will be a challenge as well. Oh, is next week? Is next week your golf week where you'll be gone?
I got your back, Sadie.
Yeah, in the corner of your screen is $1. He's just flaunting his wealth for y'all.
Yeah, there's just so much room in my wallet before I start tipping over. But you got to carry a bunch of ones to like the garage sales and stuff. So
Yeah, dog. So we're going up
you set them on
Thursday
the
night.
desk.
Thursday night, so we'll stay in Franklin or Brentwood, one of those. Going to get up and run around a few yard sales, and then go to the flea market Friday morning.
Yeah, I got a
Because
bunch of ones.
Saturday morning I'm doing yard sales when everybody's going to the flea market, and so yeah,
I don't know if you can see it. This one was glitter bombed.
that means somebody stole it. Is that what that means?
I guess.
Or it could be strippers. You're right, lag.
Could be like glitter off of stripper bras.
or G string or something or whatever they use to hold that money.
Mm-hmm.
Band around their. But yeah, it's a very interesting times for the country and for the world and for such economic uncertainty and the craziness of you definitely feel a struggle uh for control of what goes on. Todd's the creepy guy at the strip club. Yeah. Eric said you can smell the bill to see if you can smell where it's been.
That's problem is that's not enough for a lap dance. Dang it.
And Harlow wants to know if it's moist. Yeah, Larry says don't give it to the Lutherans. They know where you've been. You'll be on their prayer list. Ah.
You guys
All right.
got
So what's out there we're reselling? So here's my warning for you. So lots of people are saying, it's good to eBay is making it where, you know, customers they're going to sell your items, help you sell your items better because they're going to help you pass the discount on to your shipping discount on to customers. eBay, I don't need your help giving my money away. I don't trust you to do this correctly. And there are going to be a lot of people that are probably going to lose money to do this. Folks, opt out until you figure out how the program is going to work. And you never want to be a crash test dummy for eBay. You just don't. eBay has a history of failing rollouts. And I implore you to set this one aside. It's so what's eBay's answer? It's funny how eBay's answer is either take more money from me for promoted listings to sell to their declining audience, or to give more money of my money away so that it can help with their declining audience. Um, it's never a discount on fees.
Yeah.
It's never, we're not attracting new customers. It's
Joanna,
never a pro seller.
I think it becomes automatic around the middle of next month. Is that right?
Yeah, I opted out. I've already you have to. I went in and opted out.
Everything I have is flat rate shipping, so I don't think it affects me at all.
So John and I disagree on this. eBay has the data and they know how many people are clicking off the listing due to highs. Okay, so here's the answer, John. Is how about you are the person that, and I'm not talking about John in particular. You are the person that makes the listing. You are supposedly the expert in reselling because this is what you're doing. How about you understand what shipping costs are and do fair shipping costs? I do a lot of free shipping. Good luck opting out of free shipping.
Okay.
Um, it's
Yeah, I don't care if they implement it or not. Everything I have is
it's
flat rate shipping.
and John and I do agree on that. You never want to make money on the shipping.
Yeah.
The shipping should be a net break even, and you're off, and that's it. It's a means to an end. It is not a profit center. It is how you get. It's part of the transaction that should be fair to both sides. It is. And half the time, I don't even look at my boxes or anything. I don't even do the handling part. It's just the shipping. That's what it's.
I bet I have made the sale on a lot of things just because I don't overcharge for shipping. I think flat rate's the way to go, but that's just me. I know a lot of people still are going to do calculated no matter what. I'm like,
Yeah. So Chastity says I took the time to calculate what it costs to ship to the West Coast, and then and a small percent. That's the way it should work, Chastity. 100% agree with you. The buyer gets a deal and you don't lose money. That's it. That's the whole thing. And I think that I'm smart enough to do my own shipping, and I do majority free shipping, so it doesn't even affect me. And I'm not selling bigger items anymore, so me opting out is not that big a deal. But I challenge you
that's
to
exactly what brother Dusty did too. He didn't overcharge for shipping.
No, it's at the end of the day, it's still a total cost of the whole process. And if you want to, how many times have we talked about, you know, why things are not selling, and you go look in somebody's store and the shipping is outrageous. It's over and over and over that people don't understand, or they treat that like, and those people, I don't want eBay to help those people out. Those sellers that are so bad need to still be punished and not sell shit.
Yeah.
So 5-1 Hall says, I saw feedback. The buyers are posting pictures of item of their feedback. Is that for positive or negative? Yeah, lag. Turn it off. I don't trust eBay. I just don't trust. I think you should be smart enough as a business owner to negotiate that part of the. I don't need training wheels on my reselling business. I'm fully capable of understanding, shipping and what shipping costs, and mm, uh,
Yeah, if I'm selling the same
okay.
anyway.
I think that's just. I think eBay needs to stop and go back to doing something else. That's a stupid tax. If you are so ignorant that you can't set up your shipping and you're overcharging and you're chasing people away, you deserve not to sell something. That's the ignorant tax. Don't fix the ignorant tax. How about eBay does something that's beneficial? How about you quit charging fees on sales tax, you losers? You want to do something that's right, don't charge fees on sales tax.
Yep.
eBay has lots of problems. How about you go figure out a way to attract some customers? How about you figure out a way to get rid of bad sellers? Don't handicap bad sellers and make just because they're. So let's look at this part. If you're a seller that doesn't understand and are trying to gouge people in shipping, chances are you don't do everything else right either. If you can't make the decision in your business to do something that is good for you and the customer by you know breaking even and being fair with shipping, what are the chances that you do everything else right? Slim and none. Um, I mean, we're not talking. These are not going to be the cream of the crop sellers. They're trying to protect in the guise of saying that we want to help more sales by making shipping fair. How about you educate sellers and make a way to get rid of these bad sellers? Because I don't. If you're a good seller, this is already part of your process. You understand it, and you can look logically through it and think, I want the customer to buy my item. Yeah, it's. I am critical of eBay. I'm very disillusioned with eBay and their. Hey, Glenn. Good morning. Hey, look forward to seeing you Friday, Glenn. This is gonna be a good weekend, buddy. Uh, it's they're already being punished in search. So how much of an effect do we think this is going to have? Because shipping is a huge part of the algorithm. You know, listen, go watch Tommy. Listen to Tommy. He'll tell you, the way he ships his shoes, and he gets an advantage over lots of people because of the shipping costs. Controlling your shipping costs gives you an advantage in search. So why would you not want to do things to make it where people can see your items more readily? You're stuck buried on the third page, fourth page of search and wondering why your items aren't selling, but you've got outrageous shipping. It's I don't see why eBay is so concerned about highlighting these sellers. You've done everything in the past to bury these sellers in search so that customers are not negatively affected. But now you're trying to help babysit these idiots. And yes, if you can't control your shipping, I just did call you an idiot. I think you should put like $30 shipping on that.
Yep, jitterbug.
I get it. He's got a great model, man. It's and he'll tell you I'm changing a lot of mine. And but he said, but he's torn down the store 2 or 3 times and to where he is now. And if something were to change, he'd tear it down again. Like I said, you do free shipping on district. Make sure to go visit your store over there.
Mhm.
Oh, 100%, Joanne. I agree with you. I think that the people who are going to be affected by this are the ones that can't figure out why their stuff is not selling. It's
Yeah, they got the old steel lip with the flat head screws, so that, yeah, they're wood. Pretty good lures. If you can get into an old tackle box and for cheap at a garage sale, there you go.
yeah. I've always been one to because I know how eBay calculates, and that's another thing. Instead of taking the discount, how about you more accurately reflect the cost of the shipping? That's the biggest problem with calculated shipping. It's not taking the discount. It's the fact that even if you took the discount out, the shipping is so crazily outrageous. Is you know you, you know if it's a bait and switch. eBay has a problem with their calculated shipping because a lot of times it calculates way too high. And so instead of fixing the rates and putting an update out there saying, we've done some studies and we are adjusting the rates on calculated to more accurately reflect the current cost of shipping. Um, they they're quick to say they switched it and see how they switch the narrative. They go, it's the sellers who are not passing on the discount, and so it is your fault that you're not doing this, and so we're going to force you to give up your discount because you are not being fair to your customer. You see how they switch that around, folks? Don't miss that. That's probably the part I had the most problem with is eBay is not understanding or not. They understand it, but they have done the old bait and switch and go, you know what? It's really the seller's fault. The sellers don't understand this as their calculated shipping model puts these crazy outrageous prices on there. Um, but yet it's your fault because you're not passing on the discount. Don't miss that. Time for an instructional video. I think those days are long gone, Don. Yeah, Jabez says a lot of times the box is more worth more than the lure itself.
Yeah, look at that label. Otasco, Oklahoma Tire and Supply Company. There's probably only 5 of those stores left, and there were hundreds. It's like a discount store. So this is vintage. $1.18. Let's see what a Rebel
See so 5-1
J103.
haul. So it brings up a great point. It says one of the eBay accounts is media only, and I'm assuming you're a guy. And customers are charged exactly what the PO charges. My ratings are 5s, except the reasonable shipping category. See, that is another problem that is customers because of Amazon and they're shipping in out. They have changed customers' perception by saying you should get this in a couple of days, so that the speed of which shipping should be, they've made it unreasonable. And also, these folks drink fluoride water every day. I mean, we're dealing with the public who, when they see a listing that says free shipping, I think a legitimate percentage of them don't understand that shipping actually costs money. And then when they do, they don't understand what shipping costs. And so now you're trying to um, pass the shipping discount on to your customer. They don't have any idea what shipping costs. I mean, it's just like that you would go to their job and go, you have no clue about their job. They have no clue about the shipping part of yours, even though they have some exposure to shipping in their own life. It is amazing. I'll sit there in the post office and I'll be waiting for something because everybody ahead of me in the post office, it seems like, you know, they need to ship this mouse. They just bring this and go, how can I ship this? And then when they pay full retail rates, I'm going, the full retail rates on shipping. Oh my God. Um, your well water, you hope it doesn't have fluoride. It probably does, and it's probably got heavy metals and everything else in it because of all the contrails that when it comes down from the plains.
I just looked it up. Otasco stores closed in 1989.
No kidding.
So this is.
I definitely wouldn't take that price tag off. That's probably part of the value of it. I can't. What do those have anything to do with the difference? And we wonder why postal workers are nuts. Oh, I thought you said never mind. I read me instead of we. No, it's. I tell Jason, I'm like, Jason, dude, you've got some serious patience. The people, and I'm like, I'm glad that they get hit full retail rates because if they are that inconsiderate and can't put something in a box and have any kind of plan whatsoever, they deserve to pay. So Tom says he already passes on the discount. It's, see the more you do this and the smarter you are as a business person and reselling, you understand you've already calculated, part of the process that if I'm selling this remote, I know it's going to cost me $4.15 to ship this. I throw this in at free shipping because I understand that if I sell it at $13 and what the fees are going to be and what my shipping is going to be and what my costs are going to be and how much I'm going to make on this, I know all this stuff about this thing right here. I don't have to, I'm not worried about, oh my God, it's going to California. It's going to cost an extra 20 cents because of the zones to send this. I don't care. It's, you know what the cost of an item is. I don't get people who list things who don't understand what the shipping cost of an item is going to be. And yeah, I screwed up with Amazon. I get that, but it happens to the best of us. I never would have dreamed that package would be so damn much going there with Ground Advantage. That was the one time Ground Advantage has let me down. So Kent and Lag are arguing about the sticker. Yeah, don't take it off. Are we going to talk about contrails this week? We didn't talk about them. We ain't talked about them in a while. All right, so I've ran it enough today. The hell. 9:35. Lighter fluid will definitely take it off. Todd's over there listed on eBay. He's not even interested in talking to y'all anymore. What the hell?
I'm just looking it up.
Contrails, chemtrails,
15
contrails, or whatever. Uh, yes, Jeanette. So I temporarily have Alaska and Hawaii removed from Amazon. After the show, I will go back in and build a shipping template that is for large items that I don't expect to use much anymore. And it will have Alaska and Hawaii off of it, and then for everything else I'll use the regular one that includes Alaska and Hawaii. I think that's the proper response is not to eliminate, because ground advantage going to Alaska and Hawaii is not bad on smaller items, and so I want to be able to, those few customers, I want to be able to, it's not fair to the customer, and I don't want to shrink the potential customer pool, even though those are two smaller states. But the large items, I would just use one that, anything that's over 10 pounds, I won't ship to Alaska and Hawaii. It's very simple to do. Just go into your shipping settings, and then create a new template, and then set it up exactly like you want it for the regions. And then save that one, give it a name, whatever it is. I'm gonna name mine large items, and so that it'll be a check down box when you're doing listing which shipping template for a merchant fulfilled item, and you just pick one of the two. I'll only have two, so I'll just pick one of the two. Glenn, Thursday evening, probably between 5 and 6 o'clock. I say we're leaving at 3 o'clock, but that means Joni's gonna be ready. That won't happen. So we'll be there Thursday evening. Going to do some yard sales on the flea market Friday morning, and then I think Joni and Jennifer are dragging me to stores to look for clothing or something Friday afternoon. That'll be an adventure, and then we'll be at the meetup Friday night. We should get to the hotel. Check-in's at 3 o'clock. We'll be there around 3 o'clock. I booked it through the app. I wonder if I can check in early. Oops. Snail trails are moist. They are. Yeah, Jennifer, I've already thought about the severe torture that y'all are going to drag me through. Check in and check out. It is 3 o'clock.
Yeah, now you're ready.
Yeah, Joanna, we're about done unless there's something else crazy I can talk about. I'm gonna run in to make some breakfast. Breakfast. All right, cool. Yeah, you can't check in that hotel till 3, and I think the first thing's at which I know the meet and greets at 5:30. I hope it's close to the restaurant because I think that one starts at 7. It's not like we have anything else to do. Sleep is optional on this trip. Make sure Joni carries us some Adderall. That'll be me, Larry. I'll be sitting in the middle of the mall, just drooling, waiting for somebody to come to put me out of my misery. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's 5:30. I've got it on my phone. Yeah, it's possible. Yard sale treasure map works wherever you're at. So the meet and greet is about 30 minutes away. All right. I'll look at a map. I haven't done any of that yet. Got to do laundry today as well. Gibson Guitar Factory is open all day. Wherever the meetup is, I mean, even though it's at 5:30, we can get there early. Add to Apple Wallet. Is Jacob, are you bringing any samples? Your sticks? Probably not. All right. Everyone have a great week. I'm not even gonna hang up on you this time. I'll tell you have a roll tide, and I will try to shoot a video of all the wonderful people I meet. Maybe I'll actually act like I'm a YouTuber.
There you go.
I almost said that with a straight face. Roll tide.